Ethereum, Solana, and SUI, the battle of the big three in the layer one space. I'm going to score these three different assets for age, devs, adoption, user experience, and if I'm bullish or bearish on these three. First of all, Ethereum is the oldest out of all of these. It is the battle-tested blockchain, been around for nearly 10 years now, and it is the most secure blockchain we've got. Solana was the middle of the three. This was built around 2020. It's still more battle-tested than SUI, but it has had a lot of scaling problems to date. And SUI is the youngest. Still the most untested. It's using new technology. It's faster, but it's the youngest out of all these three. The next one is developers. Ethereum has the biggest range of developers in the ecosystem. Why is developers important? Because that is the adoption and that is the growth of the blockchain. So devs is the biggest here. Solana, though, is fast to grow. So Solana uses a different methodology of the coding mechanism. Solana has had the fastest growing in terms of the recent years. ETH is still the biggest, but Solana is the fastest growing. And then SUI is the third behind because it actually uses a different coding language that is brand new to these two. So it's a new language that's required devs to learn it. Not the fastest, but it has the smallest amount of devs in terms of these three. But the tech is ultimately potentially better and faster because of the way it codes. This is the smallest. Now, the next one is adoption. Who is actually using these blockchains? Where Ethereum has the biggest in TVL. This is the total value locked. The biggest blockchain for DeFi and large institutions parking capital on here. Now, Solana is the biggest for DEX volume. Right? DEX volume is decentralized exchanges. So Solana actually has the most amount of traders and liquidity pumping through decentralized volume. SUI, however, all right, focuses on user experience and is growing in terms of TVL. All right, so it's the fastest growing TVL, but is far, far, far behind these two in terms of the amount of capital being parked because it's such a new blockchain. Now, user experience. The problem ETH has had for so long is it is quite complicated, all right? Because it's so decentralized and so trusted, it's complicated to use. This is where Solana had a huge run up in the user experience. People are able to onboard a lot easier using Solana. All right, Solana's been a big competitor versus Ethereum, especially in price over the last couple of years. However, as SUI came on board, SUI is fully focused on the user experience. This is the best in terms of user onboarding. You can actually log into SUI using your Facebook and Google account. That is not possible with the other blockchains. Now, this is what you've been waiting for. Am I bullish or bearish on these three projects? I am actually bullish on all three. All right, I do have a larger stack of Ethereum. I'd rate this a 9 out of 10. Solana, I'm going to give it an 8. All right, and SUI, I'm going to give it a 7. But I am bullish on all of these because of the layer one nature, how this is the road that apps get built on top of. It's where the VCs get to invest. I'm very bullish on all these three. I own them personally. That is the battle of the layer ones.